I want to talk about hair loss, and our body's covered with hair. It's going to help to grow hair. It's going to help support the viability, help support the life that's bringing oxygen and nutrients to that hair follicle to keep it well. It's kind of like watering a plant, but from underneath. From the time we're born until our very last breath, our health defenses are healthy, we can be healthy. And when our health defenses are compromised or down, that's actually when we become vulnerable and sick. So I want to talk about hair loss. What are those defenses that protect us against cancer and heart disease and diabetes and metabolic syndrome and against hair loss? And the answer is we've got 5 of these systems that are hardwired inside our body, work to actually keep every part of our body, including our hair. So let's talk about hair. So, first of all, our body's covered with hair. We tend to think of the hair on our head, maybe a few other places in our body, as where the hair actually is. But in fact, we're covered with a fine layer of hair everywhere. And the primary function of hair, of course, is actually to help us cool off or preserve heat. It's a kind of little shield that forms these little air pockets, or they can actually help us cool off as well. And our hair is really, on our head, is a set of cells, a hair follicle, that then sprouts like a seedling that you plant in your pot, in your window of your window pot, okay? And it sprouts right out, and it turns into this beautiful hair, whatever color your hair may be, or whatever shape your hair may actually wind up in. Some people have really super straight hair, some people have waves, some people have curls. It's all the same. It all starts with this seedling, which is our hair follicle, that is buried underneath the skin, kind of like a seed. Now, if you think about it, if you ever had a window pot with anything planted in it, you realize if you pull out the plant, you're going to pull out the roots. And the seed of our hair follicle, also has roots, but the roots actually are blood vessels that actually grow up and feed the hair follicle. So one of our body's health defense systems is called angiogenesis. That's one of the 5. Angio mean blood vessel, genesis, how they grow. So one of the things that we need to defend the health of our hair is good circulation. Now, you don't think about your hair having a circulation, but it does. In fact, our hair is so finely tuned that there's one capillary, one blood vessel, that in fact is the diameter of a human hair. That's how tiny the blood vessels are, that feeds one hair follicle. All right. And if you actually disrupt that health defense system, that blood vessel system, your circulation, guess what? You knock out that blood vessel, you knock out the root system, the feeder system for your hair follicle, and your hair is going to fall out. All right. So that's one of the things to think about. And by the way, some of the prescription medicines that have been developed to treat some forms of alopecia or hair loss, baldness, is actually intended to restore blood flow into the hair follicle, right? The great news, and this is really the topic of my books, Eat to Beat Disease, Eat to Beat Your Diet. What foods can you eat in order to be able to help encourage good blood flow? What foods can we eat to support that circulatory blood flow component of our body, including our hair? And it turns out there's a lot of foods that actually do this. For example, you might be surprised by this, but mushrooms. Not everyone's a fan of a mushroom. I love mushrooms. It turns out mushrooms have a soluble fiber called beta-D-glucan. These are known as bioactives. These fruits and vegetables are packed with natural chemicals, and beta-glucan is one of the bioactives. It's called bioactive, biologically active. It's just basically slang for a natural chemical that activates our body, right? So when people talk about superfoods, by the way, Lynn, I always tell people, there's no such thing as one single superfood. That's kidding. What there is a super body. Our body's what's really super, can do things that we can't even imagine. And so when we eat foods like mushrooms, for example, the beta-D-glucan, and by the way, not just mushrooms, barley also has beta-D-glucan, and oats, like oatmeal, also has beta-D-glucan. What those do, when we actually eat those, that bioactive, the beta-glucan, gets absorbed in the bloodstream. And guess what? our body circulates that bioactive, and if it's going to if the blood flow is going to your scalp, guess what? It's going to help to grow hair. It's going to help support the viability, help support the life. That's bringing oxygen and nutrients to that hair follicle to keep it well. It's kind of like watering a plant, but from underneath.